What's up, Fit Fam? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and please also, if you like my content, would really appreciate if you guys subscribe to it as well. Now today I want to talk about something which I apply to my everyday life in nearly every single element, and something which I believe you guys should as well. That is the 80-20 rule when it comes to fitness. Now I'm sure you guys have heard this rule before, and many of you guys may know exactly how it works, whether it be business or your personal life, but the same principles apply to your fitness. So firstly, what is the 80-20 rule? Basically what this means is 20% of the actions that you take make 80% of the results. If you guys think of a business, for example, 20% of your clients make around about 80% of your profits. So what the principle is basically trying to say is you can cut out a lot of what you do, which relates to just a small proportion of the actual results. All we're trying to do here is become more efficient and more effective at what we do. The same thing applies with your health and fitness. There are a lot of things in the industry you guys have heard of. There is way too much information out there. In fact, there's too many people trying to scream at you to try this fad or to do this. Whereas in reality, there's a few things which you guys can do which can make a vast improvement to your progress. 20% of the changes you make will deliver 80% of the results. The inverse is also true as well. So 20% of the miscalculations, think things like your binge weekends, will also make 80% of the mistakes which you make. Now I teach the same principle to my clients as well, and that is because I want you guys to focus on the right areas first. There's no point trying to get your meal timings correctly when you haven't even calculated your macros, you don't even know how much you're eating. It's also not right for me to go to my client's plan and really break down every single set, every single repetition, every single weight if you're only training twice a week, for example. The idea here is to train more often so that way we can make more changes over time, but this is going to be far more impactful than making sure you have the perfect session twice a week, for example. Now, the reason we try to focus you guys on the big hitters is because we have busy lives. We're very busy people. You've got a career you're trying to manage. You've got a loved one you're trying to spend time with. You've got a family. You've got your health and fitness. You've got your friends. You're trying to manage all these things at once, and you cannot do everything at once. So if you just focus on the big hitters and making sure you're doing the things which are going to have the biggest impact in the shortest space of time, it's going to mean that you guys live a more fulfilling life in other areas of your life as well. One of the mistakes I see too often is that far too often people are trying to come up with the perfect plan with regards to the health and fitness, whereas they aren't implementing the things they need to be. In other words, they're trying to get the exact right splits or the exact right timings or find out perfectly the way in which they should be training or eating, whereas in reality, they're not focusing on the big hitters or the things that are going to be really impactful for them, particularly in the short run. A quote I love from Tony Robbins is, "Complexity is the enemy of execution." When it comes to your health and fitness, how you execute is so much more impactful than how you plan for it. If you have a really good training program and a really good diet, it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have the exact macros or the exact training program, you're going to hit really good results, as opposed to someone who's got a perfect plan, but they can't quite get their meal timings in, or maybe they miss a session or something like that. Execution is key here, and consistency over time trumps short-term bursts of energy. You don't need to have a short time frame in order to hit these goals. It is not a race. I say this all the time. Fitness, health and fitness is not a race. Weight loss is not a race. You don't need to rush it. You just need to hit these principles consistently over time. A plan is only as good as the execution. The reason why when people are just starting out at the gym, I don't like to program them a complex plan isn't because progressive overload techniques don't work. It's because I want them to get used to the plane that they're training on and not be overloaded with thoughts and different ways on how to do things. That's why I don't like to program things like drop sets too early, or different progressive overload techniques where you're really changing the weight or the programs or the exercises that you're doing back to back, because these are advanced lifting techniques. Again, it's not because it doesn't work in terms of building muscle or really conditioning the body, it's because it's too complex up front. I'd much rather them get used to doing a leg day with basic sets and with basic rep ranges, and then doing an arms day or a back day, because this is much easier for them to follow, particularly if they're just starting out. You want them to be following this program and following it easily. The less they can think about the complexity of what's going on, the more they can apply themselves into actually executing the plan. If you're programming for your clients, know who your clients are, make it good for them to follow. If they've been lifting for a while, yes, absolutely, add in some more complex lifts, add in some different types of techniques, add in some different exercises, do some drop sets, use different techniques, because this challenges them. Challenging is a good thing, but make sure you're programming for who your clients are. Now, when it comes to your health and fitness, I'm gonna talk about what I believe are the 20% of what you can do to get 80% of the results, and these are not going to shock you. This isn't a fitness fad, this isn't some magic kind of pill with it. These are the biggest hitters that I see get the best results. Number one, sleep more. It's a no-brainer. If you're sleeping, you're recovering, you're actually helping your body to lose weight, you're getting more energy back. If you're trying to bang down some pre-workouts before your session, but you're only sleeping 5-6 hours a night, flip that around. It's a no-brainer when you think of it like that. Number two, move more. If you're exercising daily and moving your body throughout the day, you're burning more calories. If you're moving consistently or you're training consistently, then yes, start to add in some progressive overload and start to really have more advanced techniques, training techniques when you're training, but make sure you're moving daily. Number three, count your macros. If you're trying to lose weight or put on muscle, counting your macros is the single best way to know what you're putting into your body and therefore what the results are gonna be. Plus, if you know these details, it's gonna make your life so much different when it comes to actually understanding if you're gonna be putting on weight in terms of muscle or losing weight. So track your calories by counting your macros. This is a game changer if you've never done it before. Number four, drink more water. This is quite a simple one, but if you're drinking water throughout the day, it helps you out in nearly every single element. Recovery, energy, it's everything that you need to help you guys out. You need to be drinking your water 2 to 3 liters a day is what's recommended, so please drink up. Now the fifth one on here is focus on your recovery. The reason I'm so big on this is that nearly every single thing you do outside of training is focused on you guys getting ready for that next session. Whether you're trying to lose weight or put on muscle, everything like ice baths, your protein shakes, what you're eating, this is trying to help you guys recover for that next session. It doesn't matter what you're training for, it all helps with this one. So focus on techniques which are going to help you guys recover. Things like your stretching, yoga sessions, or just what you're eating. This is all about recovery. So this is one of the most important things. And that also feeds into things like your sleep, water, all the rest of it. So the point I'm trying to get out of this video, guys, is that if you guys are focused on things like supplementation, meal timing, yes, these things absolutely do make a difference. We're talking the 1-2%ers. You guys just need to make sure you are doing the big hitters first. Count your macros or go through that list of 5. Make sure you're doing all of those first before you try to specifically time when you're having your carbohydrates around your workouts, because this is such a small impact compared to what having more sleep would have, for example. Focus on the big hitters, and this is exactly true when it comes to your health and fitness. Getting these right and doing these really well actually will get you probably all the results you're trying to get to, unless you're really a performance athlete or a bodybuilder, for example. Then you need to start looking at those 1-2%ers to really get an edge on your competition. But for most of the people probably watching this video, your Gen Pop, these are the only things you need to focus on. Yes, do your research around all of them. If you guys need some help out, of course you can come and join our Lift by Day program and all the rest of it, but you guys need to be focusing on the big hitters. Yes, do your research on all of these ones, because all the information you guys get and every little thing you can apply absolutely adds up over time as well. Just make sure it's convenient for you guys and you guys stick to it, but really focus your energy on those things that are going to get you the best results as well. Thank you guys so much for watching my YouTube video. Please subscribe down below. I would really appreciate it too, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and happy training, guys. Let's keep smashing it.